introducing this platform. So what we do is every week we do an open discussion where people can share their thoughts or their feelings or the stress what they have in this time of crisis. Because many times during the riots, the COVID-19 lockdown, protests, people don't feel safe or feel anxious or feel stressed out, and we want to give a platform to those people so they can share their feelings, their knowledge, and also to take home some tools to empower you to go on better in your life. How you say it? To empower you to go back into this world of stressful, but with tools. So we're so happy that you're here. I just want to do an emoji check. Can you give me some hearts to just that you know that you how to communicate? Yes, and applauding. Yes, beautiful, and smile is great. That is a nice way to show the speaker that you are liking and are inspired of what he's saying. So please do this during not the whole time. That's enough. Thank you. Then it's a little bit distracting. So, but first I want to introduce you to Jason. Jason 1, he will not tell you anything, but he's floating around. He's recording this session. And if you don't like to be recorded, just tell us. We don't. Then we stop after the speaking of Chris and Daas. And also I would like you to introduce you to Bogdan. Bogdan is yes, this is Bogdan. He's one of our technical service as well. He's the moderator and is helping us out. So we're doing this together as a team. Laurel was here also. Laurel van Vossen is the founder or co-founder of Educators in VR, and she's helping us out. She's probably dropping in as well and out. My name is Dana Maria Vaneke. I've been sailing around the world, first as a mate and later as a captain. And now I make people the captains of their lives with virtual reality, because I believe that that is the most powerful tool to help us, to help people to become the captains of their lives. And that's why I founded a company called Captain VR. And I'm so proud to be part of this wonderful organization called Educators in VR, which is founded by Laurel van Vossen and Daniel Dibosky Bryant. And I'm the team leader of the V Coaching and Personal Development track. And the mission is to build a network of people around the world who are interested in coaching, thank you, and personal development, and provide them an interactive space where they can communicate, share knowledge, support, connect, and inspire each other, and may even join forces to create a better real world for everyone. And today's guest speaker is Chris Daas. He came all the way from the Netherlands to speak in VR, and Chris is a business coach and life coach, a speaker, an author, an inspirator, a meditation counselor, an interim manager, a marketing expert. And he recently published this book. So please give him a hand, big hand. Thank you so much for being here, Chris Daas.
Can I blush on VR or?
A little bit. Yeah, that's one. That is the blush one.
No.
Yeah, the word is to you, Chris.
Okay, well, thank you for this opportunity and also this new way of communicating for me. Well, I think you got an interesting title for my speech. It was something like from Porche to living with monks.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So which part shall I discuss? The Porche part or the monk part?
I let them decide.
Oh, okay. Well, it's interesting because I do a lot of get a lot of interviews and stuff, especially after I published my book. I will maybe tell a bit later about that. The book is about what I would call soul marketing. It's a new way of marketing. It's basically marketing from the heart. It's not as much as you want to sell something, but it is more to give expression on your core values, and while doing that, people might resonate with you and might be willing to engage with you. That's basically a new way of viewing marketing. I've been a marketer for over 25 years, strategic marketing, and then I quit my businesses in 2012, very appropriately on the 20th of December 2012, and I didn't know what to do then. I wanted to do something different, but I didn't know what yet. And this is one of the things which came up. And yes, while I'm doing interviews, very often it comes to that decision and the things, the shift I made in my life. And indeed, it was the shift from driving a Porsche and having a lifestyle accordingly to that, than living with monks. I mean, I lived in a Zen monastery for some time, and I've sort of transformed. And that's basically also what I would like to talk about today, about transforming. On the 16th of March, it was the first day of the what we in the Netherlands have called the intelligent lockdown for COVID-19. I launched a platform, the transformation inspiration platform COVID-19, and how I renamed it from 2020. Um, Basically, why I did it, because, and it might sound silly maybe, but I was very enthused and happy and optimistic when the world was went into a standstill because of the COVID-19. Because I thought, finally, we can stop this train and we can get off this train and see whether we like riding on this train, and or if you want to do something else, we can have a look around what the landscape looks like. And so I was very enthusiastic with this opportunity.
Sorry, somehow I don't hear you very well. Is that the case with everybody? Can you just
Nope,
give me
he
some?
sounds great.
Okay, good.
You may have to re-enter. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. So this train was a standstill, and not only for me as a person, but also for people around me, also for the whole, let's say, society here in Holland, and maybe even for mankind. So this, I felt thrilled, like this was a very unique opportunity for mankind to maybe get into a transformation, or a reassessment process. Why are we living the way we live? So with that, I started this community. It very quickly grew to about 2,000 people. The community was a Facebook group, and every day I went live, and every morning I asked a question uh, about, for instance, how do you experience today? How did you start this day? How do you think? I mean, like for Easter, we had discussions about uh, suffering, about transcendence, about the death. So all these topics came
Yeah.
about, and I went
Sorry,
live.
Chris. Chris, sorry for a moment. I hear from some people there's not a good sound from you coming.
So what can I
Can
do
you
about it?
just you can maybe check the host tools and do amplify my voice 2 times. Just click on it and click. Maybe that works, and or else
Now
you have
it's
to
off.
re-enter.
Now it's
Yeah.
on. Yeah.
Okay, now does it work? So if you could re-enter the space, that means that you go to menu
Yeah.
and then go to settings, and then you go to re-enter the space. You see the re-enter button. Just click on it and you will come back
Let's
here, and
see.
then it probably will
Let's see if
be
I can
better.
find the re-enter button. Uh,
So the settings, so you go to
yeah,
menu settings.
yeah. I don't see a re-entry button.
It's by the
It's
general.
under general. It's on general.
Oh, okay.
There. All right. Because we're eager
Okay,
to
got
hear
it.
you, and it's
Got it.
painful
Got
when we
it.
can't. Thank you. All right. As we all
Mm.
know, this is part of the struggle we have. So, Brace, welcome. Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome.
Yeah, sorry, I have to
You were
cough
back, right?
really hard.
Sorry. So Dana Maria, while we're waiting for him to come back, oh, there he is. He's back. He's back. We don't forget to remind us what's next week too. Thanks. All right, Chris, come on back here.
Okay, you guys hear me now?
Yep, but we need you to move
Yes.
back.
Move back.
Where are you? Yeah,
Wherever you
come
are,
to
just
us.
come on back.
Very good.
Hello.
Yay.
Hi. Okay,
Sorry, now we
so you
hear
guys
you
can hear
very
me now?
well again. Yes.
Better? Is it better?
Yes. Yes, much better.
Okay. Shall I start all over again?
No,
Just
you can
just for the
start.
Just
last
kidding.
sentence. For the
Just
last
kidding.
sentence.
No. Okay. I sort of was talking about the platform, the Facebook group, Transformation Inspiration Platform, uh, which basically I started to uh, support people in this whole process. And I'm very thrilled with this process. So I'm very optimistic. And this vibe, this frequency, you could say, I would like to bring over to the people joining the community. So we did that with questions, and I went live every day. It started with 30 minutes, then it grew to about an hour answering questions, and I started interviewing people. I also interviewed Dana Marie, and so it became a platform where people exchanged experiences and inspired themselves and each other. And with in hindsight, if I look what we did, I sort of come to a cookbook how to deal with situations with crisis like this and how to view them as an opportunity to transform. So I would like to briefly point out these things which probably aren't new to you, but I will mention anyway. So first of all, when you have a situation where there's uncertainty or threats, uh, obviously fear arises. So what do you do with the fear? Well, the first step is to recognize the fear. And it sounds simple, like, okay, yeah, I'm scared. So what's there to recognize? But sometimes fear doesn't come as fear. It comes maybe sometimes as anger. And how do you, when you have an emotion, recognize that there's fear underneath? So that is basically the first step to be able to deal with the fear. First, you recognize the fear, then you acknowledge that you are scared of something, maybe of a virus or maybe of a totalitarian regime or whatever. Uh, Acknowledge that you have that fear. That's very important because then you have to accept that you have that fear instead of fighting it or pushing it away. And then when you've done that, you can integrate that fear in your system. And then comes obviously acceptance. Sometimes I compare it with, oh, for instance, like when you get ill, first you have to uh, uh, recognize the symptoms, then you have to acknowledge that you're really sick, and then comes a moment like, for instance, suppose you have a flu, you have a fever, but you still go to your work because actually you're fighting the fever uh, until there comes a point that you cannot, withstand it anymore, and then you accept, and then on some day you don't go to work anymore, but you stay in bed, and then you accept it, and you probably recognize it that some kind of calmness comes then over you because you have accepted it, and that's the start of working. Of recovering basically, and it also goes with fear. Once you accepted that condition, then you can start working on, you could say, healing the fear, doing something with the fear, integrate it in your system, so that you can then, in the end, transform it or transcend it to some more positive frequency. Um, and what we do, what you can do as sort of exercises in that is, well, obviously you can do affirmations, with a COVID-19, for instance, you could say, I won't get sick, I won't get infected. But if I get infected, I won't get sick. But if I get sick, I trust that my immune system will deal with it. And if my immune system has problems in dealing with it, I'll sit my time out, but it'll pass anyway. And in the worst case scenario, uh, you know, I might get very sick. But then also something happens, which happens to everyone once in a time in their lives. You die. So uh, it doesn't mean that the threat is gone, but you learn to live with it and affirm that you can deal with it, whatever it is. And next, obviously, you can use breathing exercises, grounding exercises, meditation. We do a lot of things of this, and we help you. As a matter of fact, within 2 hours, I have a full moon meditation, which I do with a group here on the beach, which I very much like doing. About the dying part, I must say that one of the things I do is I guide people in the last phase of their lives spiritually. So I also can comfort people with the fear of death, which sometimes is necessary. Next step after you've accepted the fear is to take responsibility, not responsibility only of the fear, but also of the process of recovering. I mean, obviously, you cannot control all external situations, but once you're, for instance, sick in bed, you can take responsibility for your recovery process, what the doctor tells you to do, what your body tells you to do. Also, with having fear, you take responsibility to deal with the situation. Sometimes you don't have to do anything but just let the fear pass by, but sometimes you have to get into action. And then you just take that responsibility. And if you can just do it with not too much charge, I don't know what the exact word is, but if you can do it without any emotions, but just like you're doing something without the fear, then obviously that helps in your process of, of healing yourself, healing the fear. After you've done all of this, then you are ready to transform that fear. Transform that fear into some action or some higher, the fear is gone. You can transform it into love. You can transform it into a positive vibe. Um, these are things which we have discussed and also done within our community. Um, I want to add something which also is part of the whole process, and that is I don't know whether you've already discussed it when you talked about COVID-19 in this platform, but what we also have been dealing with is how do we deal with conspiracy theories? Um, what I think is interesting is if you look at how people deal with crisis, um, you could uh, distinguish three different uh, uh, levels of maturity. There is the, let's say, child level, and in a child level, you are afraid, you're scared, you have fear, and you are very obedient to whatever uh, authority is telling you what to do, because that consoles your fear. That's the child level of maturity. Uh, then you come to the what's the adolescent, the teenager level of maturity, and that is the level that you are that you want to fight the authority. And just like a 13-year-old kid wants to find his own way, and he doesn't acknowledge the authority anymore, that's where the conspiracy theories arise, because you don't trust the government anymore, you don't trust the authorities anymore. You want to find it out on your own, and you find peers to help you with that. And the adult level to deal with crisis is that you overcome all these two phases, and that you are actually taking responsibility and play your part, your role in helping the community in dealing with the crisis. And what we found in um, in our community is that people were flopping between these three levels, because sometimes you are overwhelmed with fear, sometimes you get angry, and sometimes you are in your adult state of mind and you can actually do something for yourself and for the community to deal with the situation. Well, these are some of the experiences I wanted to share. I don't have a final conclusion, but what I want to tell you is that uh, crises like this are the best way of becoming a better self. And in this particular case, not only as a person, but maybe, like I mentioned before, as whole mankind, because we're all in this together and we all have to get out of this sometime together. And if we can help each other transforming, overcoming fears, overcoming anger, accepting the situation, and take the appropriate actions, whatever they might be, then we all will get better from this. And that's how I would like to end my little speech. Thank you.
Beautiful, Chris and Daas. Beautiful. Very inspiring. I already have one question. What? Because I know, of course, you a little bit. But how did you do that with your? You have like a really big crowd, eh? That are a part of your Facebook about the Corona crisis. The how do you call this Facebook site again?
It's a Facebook group, and it's unfortunately for the not Dutch speaking community, it's basically all in Dutch. The group is called Transformation and Inspiration Platform 2020. And
Yes.
yeah, how do I do it? People can post whatever they want to. I'm sort of moderating it, but not really, because I think we're all adults. So only some, as you can understand, with a group of people like that, sometimes things can get a little emotional, in discussions. And very rarely I interfere, but not by telling someone what to do, but just by showing people, holding a mirror up to the people, basically, because this
Beautiful.
is about transforming. It's not about telling people what to do. It's not about top down telling people how to behave in a group. It's about appealing to their own level of maturity of people.
Yes. Beautiful. So very respectful, and everybody can let hear their voice and be, yeah, heard.
Yeah, and also get angry every once in a while, because we're all humans, right? And then also that when you get angry, that you are not judged by that, but that you acknowledge that you are angry, that you ask someone the question, are you angry? Why are you angry? Can you also state it differently? And so like in in democracy or Ubuntu, that we're all inclusive.
Yes, beautiful. Yes, beautiful. There's also time for other people to have any questions. We do that with the raise hand button because you all muted right now. So I'm gonna put the raise hand button down. So if you see it now on your right hand on the bottom side, you can ask your question by raising your hand, and then I will give you a turn if you feel like it. There's no question yet, but I still have a question. So you also have there's another question. First, let me see who's that. Gonna Bogdan. Yes, please. Did I unmute you?
So yes,
Ah,
I'm live. Hi,
good.
Chris. Those are really great thoughts that you share with us
Thank you.
today. So I really found myself there, and I would really like to ask you. You told us that this is a chance for us to get out of this mess as a better person. But the question is how? How can we get? But because we need to do something, not that it did not happen like automatically.
Yeah.
What is your idea on the how?
Yeah. The only way out is the way in, right? So the best thing you can do is to find inner peace. And then with that inner peace, you can create a field around you and affect people around you. I mean, like, I myself cannot change the world, but I can change myself, and I can, with that, I can change maybe people around me. And so, if more people are doing things like this, inspire people around them, but by just inviting them to be themselves and to acknowledge that everyone's fine and that they, that they can express themselves the way they want to, then you form a basis of trust. And trust is, I think, one of the things we need in these times of crisis.
Awesome. Yeah, awesome.
Yes.
So I totally agree. So the only way is to go inside and try to change yourself. By changing yourself, you change the world. And this is totally agree. Thank you.
Yeah.
Beautiful
And
question.
also, um, I think the only way you can start, actually, also if you want to get into action, it's better to get into action once you are in peace with yourself, because otherwise, if you get into action, you might lose yourself in whatever directions, and you're not grounded anymore. So I would advise, this metaphor which I like to mention sometimes is when you are in a plane and the oxygen masks come down. First, put on your own oxygen mask, so you are capable of helping other people. So this is basically the same as what I'm trying to say. First, cater for yourself, because then if you are strong yourself, you can, and positive yourself, you can inspire people with your positivity.
Beautiful. We have more questions. So I will
Mhm.
give someone else a turn. That is Dam Tao. Dam Tao, are you you can speak now. I unmuted you. Can you ask your question, Dam Towers? And we don't hear you. Are you still muted? Maybe you can unmute yourself. I'm gonna try again. Maybe I did. Is this working? Are you now able to talk? Again. Are you now able to talk? Damn Tower. No? Okay, then we give
Yeah, if they're
if
not
the
responding, just move on.
yeah, Jeff Word. It's your turn, Jeff Word. Oh, sorry.
So you have had lots of people ask you questions and you've given answers to them. I am curious as to what is a question that people don't ask you that you wish you could answer?
That's interesting. Well, first, I asked the questions, and then people gave answers to my questions, but then dialogues uh, started. Um,
Mhm.
um, I must say, I must admit that the past few weeks, I haven't been doing this anymore because some things in my personal life happened, so I didn't have time for it. Uh, but what changed here in Holland, at least, from let's say July until this time, this point in time, is that the protest, the polarization has increased. So it seems that people aren't really capable of discussing about, let's say, the COVID measures, or it seems that people are very quickly get into arguments and into naming and shaming. So the the coming few days, I want to address that topic. Like, how do we deal with the polarization in society, and how do we keep to ourselves, and how do we keep voicing what we think is important without uh, uh, offending people, and also if people are attacking you, without feeling offended yourself. And you just state what you want to say, and then let it be there. And these questions haven't been asked me yet, but these are topics I want to discuss about, and I also want to add to that. It's better to put energy in creating something new, than into um, responding to what someone else is saying, because that takes up your energy if you get into arguments. Better is to create something new and express why you are doing something, explain it. And obviously, there's people who want to join you, and there might people be against that. But do your thing without much emotion, but just because you are compelled to doing so.
Great. Thank you very much. That's a great answer.
Thank you.
Nice. Okay, let me see. Is there another question? No, there's not another question. I have to dismiss the questions. So I do have a question still. The question is about your other community, the meditation community, because you do a moon meditation once, every full moon, of course. But also, and that's a lot of people come from all over the country. Like, how many people you have as like the most come with you meditating on the beach?
Well, the most obviously was at the moon eclipse, it was already 2 years ago. Then we had like 150 people, and that was really impressive also for me, because we were in the dunes, so very close to the beach. It was one of those mysterious summer nights, and we were with this group. And you can imagine what it's like if a group like that in the wild is quiet, so really quiet. And the interesting thing was, there were people, obviously because we're out in nature, there were other people around, but everyone in our vicinity got quiet. So it was a very interesting atmosphere, and a very high energy. So we had a very good vibration there. And so this was extraordinary. Usually when I'm doing it with between 5 and 50 people. It depends on the weather. We do it in the open air, and we're living in Holland, so most part of the year it's windy, it's cold, it's raining. So sometimes it's really for the diehards. But obviously in summer, when it's nice, or when it's a very special occasion like an eclipse, then more people will come.
Nice, nice. Any questions? A lot of love. Okay, we can also give somebody else just to the space to share in these times of crisis. So we don't have to have a question for Chris and Daas, but maybe you want to share something, what you going through in this time, and you want to just share about your feelings, or you want to share some tools. I hear an echo. Maybe can you mute yourself if you know that it's yours? Maybe it's the newcomer.
It's only you. Nope, it's only you and Chris, so it's echoing through Chris.
Oh, shall I mute myself?
No, make sure you have your headphones set up over your ears.
Oh, I don't.
But we didn't have any problems until now.
Because no one else was talking. Anyways, so you want to
Ah,
unmute
okay.
people? Or do you want to unmute people, Dana Maria, and let them communicate directly? That would be
Yes.
awesome. Thank you.
So everybody can talk now to and share. Does anybody wants to share something how they
I have my
experienced
headset
this
on
time?
now.
Great, thank you.
Beautiful. Now no echo. I would, one of my questions and thoughts, one of my best friends left a highly productive business world, much like you, and became a lay monk. And we've had long conversations about coming to terms with the capitalization and the greed and all of that, and literally the shift to owning nothing, having nothing. And there's a safe place in between, which, we talk about in between. But what was the biggest struggle for you in leaving behind your materialism?
Yeah, that's a good question. Um, um, well, I will describe. No, I just put off my earphone again because it was too complicated. I hope there's no echo. Um, so I started traveling. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, we hear you very well.
Okay, great.
Yeah,
So
it just
I started.
echoes when we speak. Yeah.
Cool. So I started traveling with my wife for about 2 years, and that was all good. And then after 2 years, well, I wanted to go in 2015. I wanted to go to Tibet. Everything was already set for that. And my flight was on the 1st of May. And a week before that, there was the earthquake in Nepal. And so the trip didn't go through. And a lot of other things didn't go through. And then my wife realized that she was tired of living out of suitcases, and she wanted to have a place again. And so we went back to our hometown, to The Hague, to Den Haag, and we we are still living for 5 years very close to where we used to live, and we lived in a mansion, and now we live in a small floor, and which is okay, but it's sometimes I say if you are on a T junction, if you go left, you don't go right, so you don't know what is on the right side, and it doesn't really matter because you've turned left. And since I came back here, I also came in the same area where the other side of the T junction led. And for instance, the house I sold was sold 3 or 4 years later for uh, something like 300,000 euros more. And that was something, at that moment, I thought, well, gee, did I make the right decision to uh, did what I did, to sell the house at that time and all that. So being in this neighborhood again, meeting the people I also lived with when I lived a different life. That sometimes I had to be very strong, have a strong mind to honor the decisions I've made, and this was one of the things. I had a rough night when I heard about the house, and so that was one of the challenges for me. Other than that, I'm leading a different life. I mean, like, indeed, I drove a Porsche. Now I drive an old bicycle, and bicycle not only for 5K, but also if I have to go 50K. So which also made me healthier than I was, you know. So I lead a totally different life. But like I'm saying, every once in a while, being here, I get confronted with things of the lifestyle I was living previously, and every once in a while, I regret I regret that. But that's okay because I'm human.
Thank you. That's beautiful.
Hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Are there any? Please share. Anyone else? You're all welcome to unmute yourself.
Everybody's scared to unmute for the echo.
So, what was it that has changed for you most dramatically since you have made the choice to be in one place now instead of on the road?
Okay. Um, well, um, I found a purpose in helping my mom, who passed away the 1st of August this year. But the past few years, I've been sort of her taking care of her, and so that gave me a purpose. And at this moment, especially the last few months, also during the COVID-19, obviously, um, have given me so much depth. Uh, Being able to also, she was getting demented, Alzheimer's, and to be able to be there for her unconditionally has also given me uh, a lot. You know, it has given me the opportunity to become a better person, and especially also the last few months, when she took her time to pass. I mean, like, you don't see this quite often anymore, that people die of old age. Usually people die of uh, a disease, or no, but she was 89, but she was uh, when she was gone, there was nothing left of her body. It was just like a skeleton. So she squeezed the last drop out of it, but she seemed happy and content, uh, and to be able to see that without grief, or has given me also a lot. I'm still uh, processing what it has given me, um, but I'm very grateful for that. So yes, these 5 years since I've been here, this has been a major part in that.
That's very beautiful. Thank you. Yeah.
So beautiful. I'm so happy that I invited you to speak, Chris. You give us a lot of
Uh-huh.
nice, nice moments to think of and
Oh, well,
to,
thank you.
yeah, beautiful. Anybody else? We have not so much time anymore, so please don't hesitate to ask any questions. We will be doing this for 5 more minutes, and then we're gonna make a selfie, a group selfie. So don't go. We all want to be on your picture, on the picture of in the picture with
Well,
Chris.
let's do that. Why don't we do that right now?
Yeah, we can do that right now,
All
and
right.
then
Everybody
afterwards we
want
still
to
have some questions.
get over there
Yeah,
on the patio, and I'll get the camera ready.
yeah.
Okay.
And
This
somebody
is the
hit the raise
hardest part
hand
for
button
me.
too. W key. You can handle it. Point and click or join. You gonna join us, Jeff?
Yep.
Okay. Let's get everybody around Chris. They're beautiful. Oh, yep. Chris moved back too far. And if we could get, I can't see who's there. Who's in the back? Yeah, that's it. Beautiful. All right, let me get ready. Now, hearts, 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 hearts. Hit those hearts. Yay! Beautiful. Beautiful hearts. All right. Getting one picture. Oops, hang on. Somebody looked away. All right. Okay, going for hearts. All right. Beautiful. Oh, that's gorgeous. Thank you. Perfect.
Yeah,
All right.
great.
I will upload
Great.
this to the V coaching channel in our
Yes, please.
Education VR Discord.
Yes. And I saw a question, but the question is again gone again. Is anybody wants to ask something?
Chris,
Oh,
I
yeah.
would like, what's your purpose now? So it's a really beautiful story that you told us with your
Mhm.
mother. So it's really, really emotional also for me. What is your why right now? Have you found
Yeah.
another why?
Yes. 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 Um, Oops. No. What I want to do in this life, the time I've left, I'm 59 now. The time I've left is that I want to uh, heal myself, heal all the parts of me which are not complete yet, which I in this life or karmically, which I've came here for to heal. And so this is not a career. This is not about relationships. This is about something I need to do myself. And so I want to dedicate my life to doing that.
Great, great purpose. Thank you for sharing, Chris.
Mhm. I would like to all invite you to uh, befriend me on Facebook. My name is Chris Daas, and so we can see more of each other.
We'll do that.
Yes, and also be also in the Discord channel. You can be in the Discord channel as well and share, Chris. You can share your events there as well. Also, if they are only in Dutch, doesn't matter. Maybe you will do sometimes something in English. But people, this is like the main thing where we share things. We share other events, and just you can share like you do in your same platform. We have something similar than that. So please, everybody go there to the Discord channel for the V coaching and personal development track and start sharing things about positivity, about empowerment, about personal development, about coaching that that we need now, especially in these times of crisis. So, but you also can ask not the email
To get
address.
to the
Yeah.
Discord, you go to discord.me/educators in VR. Discord.me/educators in VR. And hopefully Chris will put it back in his headphones so we don't get an echo.
Yeah. Okay, and so someone, can you just have someone to have some last empowering words? Who wants to share?
I'd love to have Chris share something that will inspire us to go forward in the day to be more thoughtful and mindful. Is that okay?
Great, great. If you are okay with that, Chris. Are you? Did you mute yourself? So, Chris, maybe be above the menu button. You see the microphone.
No.
Yes, now we hear you.
Okay. No, I didn't hear all of it because I was putting on my earphone.
Okay, make sure that you're still on Amplify Your Voice. And um, we just asked you if you would say something to motivate us to feel positive about the day and the things that we're facing. And so we can go out into the day with all this great energy. Thanks.
All right. Mm. Uh, there's two quotes which are very important to me. One of is from the Rumi, and it's maybe you know it. It's yesterday I was clever. Yesterday I was clever. That's why I wanted to change the world. Today I am wise. That's why I am changing myself. And another one from the Bhagavad Gita, which is a very important rule for me, is what is it again? Uh, uh, in it's what's it in English? Uh, it okay. Act well without attaching to the results. In other words, if you do whatever you feel is good, with the right intention, that by itself is good, and don't attach to the results whether they're good or bad. So don't put too much energy in being pride or being uh, disappointed, but just do what you're doing, and that's enough. So act well without attaching to the results.
Beautiful.
Great.
That's amazing. So thank you so much for being here at Kristen Daas, and we hope to see you more. Please give him all a round of applause, a big round of applause for having such a great talk and being such an inspiration for today and for the rest of our lives even.
Yes.
I also want to introduce next week's program, and Chris, you know this guy, so maybe you would like to come and visit us next week to just as a
Yeah.
guest. Gregory, Michael,
Oh wow!
Greg, yes, he's
He's
from the
gonna play
US.
music. Is he gonna play some
He's
music?
gonna play music as well, but he's
Oh great!
in the, yeah, it's amazing. So Greg is an American. I don't know which part he's from, but he's a musician. But he lives now in Key Carker in Belize, and they are having a lot of troubles because this whole island is depending on tourism. So they don't have any money and food coming in. But they did a big charity run with with him playing music and also a lot of other people playing music, and they already raised $80,000, dollars to get food into the island. And they are great people. So Greg is a great musician. He's going to talk about how they did it and how they can do positive things even in these very difficult surroundings. And he's going to play some music for us. So we hope you all to be there. Okay, so
Awesome.
that means we can, if you want to go, you can go. So for the technical service, thank you so much, Jason, and thank you so much, Bogdan, and also Laurel. She's already gone. Thank you for the technical service today and being in this team. And
Awesome to be here. Awesome to be here.
Yeah, thank you
thank
for
you.
making this all possible, Dana, and thank you all for being here and for asking such interesting questions and for all your hearts and thank you.
Thank you. Okay, then if you want to stick around a little bit more, then you and if Chris is staying, then you can have more questions maybe. But if you want to go, Chris, you can just leave. You know how to leave, to exit.
I don't know. No, just kidding.
I hope.
Yeah,